Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to episode 21 here at the Players Club Podcast, a podcast by the players for the people. And I'm your host, Darien Nolan. Welcome, you guys, to episode 21. And I will say 21 is a good number. It's my college number, obvious reasons. So I'm happy to be back with you guys this week. We're going to cover pretty much everything about Pro Day. I'm going to be joined by one of my other friends who just went through Pro Day and I think I had a good day. He had like a excellent, exceptional day. And so coming up later on, Nolan Turner, former All-American safety, looking to go into the draft this year. But first, we had Pro Day this past week, and I will tell you guys, there's a couple moments in life that you just get like really like you don't have to set an alarm for. Like we were all joking, all the guys before, like all of us woke up. We had to be at the facility like I think like 6:30. Like everybody's just up at 3:30, 4 o'clock, just like sitting in bed. Because you're like, if I'm going to be late for anything, I'm not going to be late for my opportunity to interview with NFL teams. And so, lots of nerves and just months of work. Like I talked about me moving down to Florida. Nolan talked about him moving down to Florida. Some of my friends were in California training. Some of my friends in Dallas, Texas. Just all over the place training. And you train for 2 or 3 months with the hopes of having a really good day, either the NFL Combine or at your Pro Day. And a lot of us, I think, that competed the other day, I think only one person competed at the Combine. So everybody was looking forward to having a really big Pro Day. And so, all that work goes into one day and to make your dream come true. And so pretty much the way the day went was we had to be there like really early, 6:30. And you kind of check in, do everything. Clemson, shout out to Nick Yeard. He swears I'd never give me any love on the podcast, but he's our equipment manager at Clemson. Literally the best man, the GOAT. He is a man. But he got us a bunch of new swag. I should have wore something, but pretty much it's all stuff that like you kind of always want to get as a player, like purple tights, because Coach Sweeney doesn't let us wear any colored tights, some cool gear. So you get all that swag. And then you essentially get ready and you go up to this room and it's like 2 NFL scouts in there and you pretty much tell you, hey, today compete in everything, like in everything. And like, if I'm measuring your hands, try to get 1 more centimeter. Yeah. So you go up in this room and you like measure your hands and all that good stuff. And so everybody's competing, measure your hands. You like squeeze it for every inch, your wingspan, and then make you do like a 360 with your shirt off and all that, you're trying to look as big as you can. And you go in a room where it's like all NFL scouts, like Mike Tomlin's in there. There's a couple of head coaches of every NFL team. There's 31 teams. I don't really know who the 32nd team that didn't show up to Clemson's Pro Day was, which is odd. Like, who was the one team that was like, I'm not coming? Because everybody else came. But you walk into this room, they say your name, and then they do your height and weight in front of everybody, and you're like in nothing but your underwear. Whatever. For a bunch of men. But you kind of do that, and then you go, you get ready. So we did the vertical, the broad jump, the bench, and then you run 40s and you do position drills. And so, it was a really good day. Like even for me, like I had a good day. I had numbers I wanted to hit. Like, everybody has goals that you want to hit because you know it puts you where you need to be. I ran and hit every time I literally wanted to hit, and I think I exceeded a couple with my broad jump. Hit 10 feet, which was like I never got 10 feet in training. And so your adrenaline's running, you kind of get a little more in you to go and just kind of aim for the stars and see what happens. But all to say is Pro Day went really well. For me, I feel like it helped me out a lot. It gave myself a shot to go to the next level. I need to have a really good Pro Day. And for my guy that's coming up next, I think it really might have locked him into really getting drafted. I think he was kind of on the fringe. People didn't know how athletic he was. Nolan Turner, former All-American safety at Clemson, and the guy who just killed his Pro Day, coming up now on the podcast. Hey, what's up, you guys? Episode 21, back at you guys with one of my good friends. Like I told you guys earlier, I just finished Pro Day, and this is a guy who I've literally done everything with for my entire career. We came in together, very immature little dudes, not a lot of facial hair as you see today, but my fellow super senior, my brother, Nolan Turner, was good.
What's up, man? Yeah, I know we've been working on this facial hair for a while now, but I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, I'm glad you're on here, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're both venturing off and adulting in life, but just wanted to bring you on here, bro, to talk. We both just finished our pro days, and that's kind of what I want to hit first, dude. Mr. 4-4 himself, surprising everybody, the white guy that jumped higher than everybody at Pro Day.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
White
Bro,
man
so how
can't
was Pro
jump.
Day for you? Come on, man. Come on.
Oh man,
how was Pro Day for you?
It was a blast. Like I said, it was fun to just go out there and kind of compete, and see all the guys coming from, different parts of the country that, they've been training at, and to kind of see everybody put that work in, come back, compete, see some coaches, and then, ultimately running through all the drills and just trying to hit those numbers that you'd been training for, and none of the drills it's not complicated stuff, it's all simple stuff. And so, I wasn't feeling a lot of pressure, but, just really anxious to hit those numbers and, exceed your expectations that you're training for.
No doubt. So I guess the question, and everybody's kind of wants to know, obviously you made some headlines last week.
Mm-hmm.
How did it feel running 4.4? And did you know you were capable of running 4.4?
So, when I was training, this is actually kind of ironic. When I was training, I ran 2 laser times down in Florida, and both laser times were 4.44 and 4.44, and then both unofficial times at Pro Day were 4.44, 4.44, and
wow.
So I thought that was pretty interesting. If anything, I was consistent. So that was it was cool to see. It was cool to see that number pop up again. So
no, for sure, bro. That was big. I mean, it's crazy that so much weight goes into a 40-yard dash. Like,
right.
like it's
right.
literally like huge. Like some guys, that'll either make or break, depending on how much film you got, how highly talented you are. But like your 40 can literally make or break your NFL career. There's guys we know who didn't get drafted or didn't get a shot because they ran slow 40. And the opposite is true.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely, I was happy with what I ran, and some of it correlates and some of it doesn't. You see really fast dudes run not as good at the combine or pro day for whatever reason. And you're like, man, I know he's a fast guy, but for whatever reason it didn't show up on time. So, so for the good and for the bad, sometimes it may or may not work out.
One of the things I think people, when they like see a pro day or see a combine, is like you were kind of talking about how much work goes into it. Like we both moved down to Florida, and for anybody doesn't know, he moved down to Fort Lauderdale too. We're at 2 different facilities. Where were you at?
XPE,
shout out.
XPE in Fort Lauderdale. Shout out Matt Gates, Tony Villani. They do a great job.
Good guys. And I was at a House of Athlete in Weston, but you move away essentially just to kind of get us change of scenery. We both have been in Clemson literally our entire adult lives. So we wanted to switch it up. We moved down to Florida, and you kind of are get new friends, get a kind of new team, so to say. And you're down here training like 2-a-days for 2.5-3 months.
Yeah.
And all the pressure is to go perform well.
Right.
And because it sucks because some guys will they could be fast or strong, but just sometimes on the big day, it just doesn't click. And so how does it feel like, as far as like when the pressure was like, or the relief after having a good pro day?
Yeah, no, it was a huge relief. Cause like you said, you're down there for those 8 or 9 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever it is, really, with a lot of places with the emphasis on running that fast 40, I don't know about some other places, but we did a lot of specifically combine training. So, we're training for these events, and, we touch up on position work and stuff. But, we've been doing that our whole life. So we didn't have as much of an emphasis on the drill work as we did the 40. So it's like, you're putting in all this work, like you said, for that one event, and, you want it to pay off ultimately. And, that's kind of why I went down there. I heard good things about those guys, and, some of our former teammates had trained with them and ran well. And so I'd spoken with them and liked their program and what they did. And so that's kind of the business decision I made to go down there and train with them. And, it didn't hurt having some South Florida weather for 2.5 months, kind of skipping that winter, the South Carolina winter, the short winter we've got. But so it was really nice. And I definitely enjoyed the process and, meeting guys from all over the country that came to train down there, making some new relationships with guys and, all good people that we were with. So, man, it was a great experience.
No, I said the same. It's always so funny to meet different guys because it's like
it's
like the same people just in a different place. You got a funny guy, you got the quiet guy, you got a serious guy, you got you got some guy who like is not focused. It's like everywhere you go,
Yeah.
it's the same people. It's just
Yeah.
different faces and different
For
places.
sure, for sure,
Uh,
and getting their perspectives on their careers and programs and stuff
exactly.
was also cool to hear.
Bro, I don't know about you, but I was super thankful I went to Clemson. Like,
Yeah.
there's other good places you can win some ball games, but just hearing other people's experiences and some guys like,
Hmm.
I ain't never going back. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't care no more, whatever. But just, I'm like, I love Clemson, bro. Like,
Right,
like I'm gonna go
right.
back whenever I get a chance.
I know, for sure. Yeah, it was interesting kind of hearing their perspective on their school, and it was really like everybody wanted to know kind of what we were about at Clemson and wanted to know what we
Exactly.
did and how the coaches were and the guys and just the program in general. So it was kind of cool to kind of harp on that and kind of brag on the university and the program.
Yeah. No, for sure. All right, last question about pro day. We're moving on.
Okay.
Is bro, how when you think about obviously what your stock was, what did you feel like you showed at pro day, and how do you feel like that helped you?
Yeah. So I think pro day, I really showed my athleticism. Like, just as far as jumping goes, my jumps were explosive. My 40 was fast. And those were kind of the biggest things that I wanted to go out there and improve, that I could run and that I'm a good athlete and can move well. And so that was kind of a big emphasis for me throughout training and, just kind of making sure I got out on pro day and was able to prove that. And, that's kind of always like the question mark. Like, oh, it was a smart, good football player, or
Right.
whatever. But can he move? Is he athletic enough? Yeah, like whatever. So that was kind of I was proud of that. Proud of running well and kind of proving that I've got that speed and can play at the next level.
Yeah. Well, box checked. We're moving on. We both feel relieved. Two good pro days, and we'll see what's next. So, what's next for you, bro? So, obviously, timeline. We finished the Cheez Bowl. We both moved down to Florida. We train. We have good pro
Yeah,
days, and so then the draft is a month and a week from now. Like, what is Nolan
yeah,
doing in between now and the draft?
yeah, man. I'm trying to stay consistent with like the training that we were doing down there and just implement that schedule for this next month and a half up into the draft. I'm back in Clemson. I'm definitely utilizing all my resources at the facility. Once you get on your own, you don't have the food prepared
Right.
for you, and you don't have this set schedule. You got to be here at whatever time, and so just really sticking to my own schedule and just making the most out of my day. I mean, I'm training up here at TNT with Joe Don, and getting in some extra work at the facility in the afternoons, and just kind of taking it day by day. Staying in shape, getting stronger, still getting better at the stuff we were training at earlier, but with more of a football emphasis, getting ready for the draft and what's next.
Exactly, bro. It's such a crazy season. Like you kind of worry for so long, then it comes and it's over. And now it's the next thing,
Right.
bro. Before we obviously want to see both of us get a shot, so you get the best shot you can at the draft. We're gonna
Hmm.
take people back a little bit, bro. Young Nolan coming out of
Yeah.
Vestavia Hills, Alabama. You're about to go to Alabama, is that correct?
Yeah, I was gonna go walk on. I had an opportunity to be an invited walk or preferred walk on or whatever at Alabama, and that was, I didn't really want to go to a small school and play. I wanted to go somewhere big, and had the opportunity to go there, and that was where I was gonna go until Clemson
What?
came along.
Yeah, I'm about to say what happened. Talk us through how Clemson came into the picture and then what time.
So I'd been down at Clemson a few years before. I'd been coming to camp and stuff. Obviously knew Coach Sweeney, and was doing the whole camp circuit and stuff, and came out here and performed well and whatnot. I had good camp. It was fun. Loved the campus, loved the university, all the coaches, obviously, and but when you're from Alabama, I didn't have any big time offers or anything, and so that they invited me to walk on. Clemson invited me to walk on, and at the time I was like, I'm from Birmingham. Dad played at Alabama. Like, I want to go to Bama. You know what I mean? And so that
Right.
was kind of the plan up until then. And then Coach Sweeney, was kind of staying on me, want me to come up, take a visit. Just come take an official. Come by, come meet everybody, everything. And I was like, yeah, like I'll do that for sure. I'll come take an official. And all those dudes from that 2015 team left, like TJ Green, Jay
Yeah.
Ron, all those guys, McKenzie. A lot of DBs left. They're still in the league, good NFL players, and they're trying to fill some spots. So they went and got Kayvon, Isaiah,
Yeah.
Trayvon, and they're trying to get another DB. And Coach Sweeney came to school with Coach Hobby, and you remember Coach Hobb? And
okay, of course, unforgettable.
So, of course, yeah. So I'm sitting in my head coach's office, Coach Anderson, back at the high school, and with Sweeney and Hobby, and we're just kind of chatting it up, just kind of a routine, recruiting stop before I came up on my official that weekend, and he offered me a scholarship that day, and I was like, well, shit, like I'm coming to Clemson, like I'm like there's no other option, like we're in, I'm coming, and so they thought that was funny, and took an official, everything was great, and signed like the next month, like everything kind of changed, like just like that, just
right.
I kind of walked back into school talking to some of my buddies, and I was probably planning on living with in Tuscaloosa the next year, and I'm like, yo, I'm going to Clemson now, and and they were happy for me and everything, but it was just kind of a cool day.
People that don't know, Nolan's dad and Coach Sweeney played at Bama together, so I think when we're talking, we'll say stuff that people just don't like. I'm like, I want people to know that. So your dad and Coach Sweeney played together. And speaking of your dad, was a beast at Bama, fullback. Did he play fullback in college or?
Yeah, fullback, running back, more fullback.
Okay, fullback, played in the league. Bro, obviously you got coaches' kids. You also got, how did it feel to be like the son of an NFL player growing up? What was that like?
Yeah, so I don't really remember him playing because I was so young. He retired I think when I was like 1, maybe 2, when he was in Philly, and but that was it was just kind of like normal to me. That's just kind of what he did, who he was, but he was just dad. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like, it didn't seem like crazy to me, but I was always obsessed with football. So, kind of growing up in that football house, I was just like, I loved football, loved watching it, loved playing it. Like, I just kind of grew up playing all sorts of sports. And, with him being an athlete, I was like, well, that's what I want to do, And so I kind of just always wanted to play football since then.
No doubt. Well, it makes sense. Did you like feel any, I guess not any pressure, you just felt like growing up in a household, like football was that was going to be it? Like, he wasn't, he never really like was hard. He would never really harp on it to me. There's no pressure to, play football. Like, he could kind of care less what I did, as far as sports goes. Like, he's like, if you want to play basketball, whatever. Because I used to have hoop dreams like everybody else in middle school until, like all of us have
6'1",
too short.
I can't. Yeah, right. So I was like, yeah, football is going to be my thing. So, but I've always loved the game, and so it's just been an easy decision. But yeah, it was just kind of always my thing. He coached my like our little youth league team from like second grade to 6th grade, whatever. So we like all the guys in the neighborhood. We grew up playing together, and so that was just kind of the norm. Like football was just kind of what I did, and something I fell in love with at an early age.
No doubt. This is random. That doesn't excite me one day. I can't wait to coach my kids, bro. Because as you get older, you realize, looking back in high school, middle school, and to any high school, middle school coach out there, look, there's grace for you. But you also realize how little these people know. And I'm like, bro, I played Division I football, got a chance to go to the league. I'm not letting somebody random coach my son. Because I'm looking back at some of my high school coaches. I'm like, bro, it's all love. But dude, he never played, dude. Like he was just a good guy. Like, whatever.
You can't be that dad yelling from the stands, though.
Oh no, I would never. I'm definitely gonna be.
You can't be that guy.
Yeah, I'll never be that guy. But I'm definitely gonna be involved in hands-on.
Involved for sure.
Yeah, involved is the best word. Bro, moving on. Just you kind of going back to something. Obviously, people that have watched your journey know your story. You weren't a big-time recruit. Nobody necessarily expected you to become an All-American, have the career you've had the big plays you've had. When we came in 2016, bro, we had a loaded class, and like a lot of those guys went on to play in the league. Like, what was your mentality coming in?
Man, like my mentality coming in was just to go to work, like I wanted to, come in and prove, to others that I would fit in at this level, that I can play at this level. But, I knew I was going to come in red shirt. I didn't have any crazy expectations to come in. I'm going to start from day one. Like that wasn't me. I knew I was going to come in, put the work in, grind through power hour, try to just soak up all the knowledge from the older guys, from Coach V, from the other position coaches, just all the football knowledge I could, and just kind of grow from there. And, it was definitely a long process. And I definitely didn't know as much as I thought I did coming in. I thought I knew I thought I knew everything about football, coming in, I'm a smart football player. It's going to be easy transition. And it wasn't. I didn't know nearly as much as I thought I did. And, especially diving into Coach V's system from day one is not easy, and learning all the terminology, all the scheme, and just trying to soak all that in and grow from there. And that was just kind of my mentality, and just take advantage of the opportunities that I was given. And it didn't always succeed at the opportunities I was given, but, I feel like I learned and grew from, all the failures, all of the, just kind of adversity that, goes through a career, and, just trying to grow and continue to get better from all that.
Yeah, I mean, very well said. I think I just want people to realize 2016 class you had just defensively, just because these are guys who came with Dexter Lawrence, Isaiah Simmons, Kayvon Wallace.
Dexter's already been in the league for 3 years.
Right. Look, all
came
these
in
people,
together.
Yeah.
Trayvon,
you had
3 years.
Trayvon Mullen, Trey Lamar, who got a shot but had a great Clemson career.
Yeah. Baller.
Obviously, our brother Jamie Skowski was there with us. Am I missing anybody? It was a pretty deep class. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anybody from defensively. That might be it.
Niles came in with us.
Yeah, Niles. But just a very, and it's all these guys were 4-star, 5-star guys.
Kayvon.
Yeah, exactly. Kayvon. And I think you hit on a great point, but just when people are like, everybody's journey is totally different. Mm-hmm. And when people watch your journey, it's different than Asia Terrell, who came in as a freshman and just blossomed as soon as he stepped foot on campus. Right. It's because football is like a developmental sport. Mm-hmm. And so what would you say, for people, I don't know, just when you think about it would have been really easy to compare yourself to other people and get discouraged, like you talked about the adversity. How did you stay the course?
Man, I think one thing that is, super big that not everybody always has is self-awareness. And I think you have to be very self-aware of your situation, kind of where you're at, not compared to, your peer to your right and left, but and really just growing on your own, kind of like, Coach Sweeney always said, put those blinders on and growing from there. And like I said, coming in, me and someone else who came in and probably played from day one, there's different maturity levels, and that's, on and off the field. There's, I think guys come in and, when obviously Trevor's a freak, but when Trevor steps in the building day one, his maturity, how he handles himself, takes advantage of every little opportunity, and is different than some guys coming in to college, and, it's just lights are a little too bright and everything. That's kind of how I was, didn't really, just didn't know what I didn't know. And I think that's a really big, kind of element to that is self-awareness.
Bro, that is a great point. Coach Nolan coming in on the pod today. Look,
there you go.
Spitting gems. But seriously, dude, we look around. We came with a lot of guys, and there's no shade, but just the reality of just being real. A lot of guys have transferred, and some of them have right reasons to transfer, but some of them also didn't. Look around the country, the transfer portal is huge. Just because we live in such a I gotta have it now world, It's just I gotta have it now. If I don't have it now, then it's everybody else's fault besides my own. Right. And reality is just that's just not the case. And self-awareness has to be huge, because it's especially a place like Clemson, bro, just because you're not playing doesn't mean you suck. Right. It's fast. Maybe you just, somebody's better than you, and you seem to work a little harder, study a little more film, and just wait on your opportunity and make the most of it. But I think that's big for anybody watching, because I think oftentimes people do lack self-awareness. I'm just bro, maybe it is you, maybe you can grow a little bit. For sure. And work harder and get smarter, all those things. I think it's a great point, especially for anybody watching. Whatever you're doing, let's be more self-aware. For sure. All right. Bro, when did you talk about your journey and you look back? I know we were there for 100 years, bro, but when did you feel when was that moment it clicked Like I belong.
Um, Man, that's a good question. I think it's interesting because I think my journey, it was like I kind of got like a little bit better every year. Kind of got like a little more of a taste of it like every year. Like 2016 redshirt year, 2017 I played a lot of special teams.
Right.
Didn't play any on defense. 2018 I started playing on defense a little bit. And kind of gradually throughout the season. But I think that moment when I felt like I belonged was I'll take it back to the 2018 the Cotton Bowl and when we were playing in out in Dallas. I think that interception I got out there was just like kind of my first big play on a big stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was just like a super cool feeling to, just like on a nationally televised game, making a big play and a big game. It was just it was a lot of fun, obviously, and a big win for us. And that was kind of that moment when I was like, okay, like I belong, like playing on this level with this kind of talent. And that's kind of when it hit me, probably 2018.
No, I do remember that. We were hyped because I didn't even know you were in a game.
Right, exactly. Yeah. What's he doing out there?
I literally was like, because I was playing special teams in 2018, and I remember just seeing because they sub. Who'd you go get? Because you got subbed in. Who'd you go get?
So it was like a third down, our little dime package. So I was going in as the extra DB coming in. So that's what it was.
I remember seeing you out there, and the next thing you know, I see Nolan is running with the ball, and I'm hyped. I'm like,
right.
Great moment for sure, dude. So you've been a part of a lot of like great, like kind of defensive games, especially this year, but even in the past. Like, is there a game that kind of comes to your mind of like, man, that was fun, that was special?
Yeah, I'd say like it's really hard to always not talk about that 2018 team, especially the national championship game.
I know.
Like that's always the first thing that pops in my mind. Like, we've had so many great defenses, but winning that national championship up in San Fran up there, holding them to 16 points, and a lot of red zone stops. We had, if you go back and look at that defense, look at that team. It's like everybody's in the league.
Yeah.
That was a loaded defense, and we played some good footballs. That was a lot of fun. When that fourth quarter hit, our offense is driving down the field, and everything's kind of, the motions are hitting you. You're like, we're about to, this is it. We're gonna win, and that was pretty, like overwhelming and just a super like just different feeling. Just like all the hard work that you put in for like such a long period of time. And then like to just see it all pay off, and ultimately like you hit the highest peak in college football, like just like tip of the mountain. And it's like, all right, like where do we go from here? Like this is it.
Right.
We just accomplish everything you want to accomplish in college football. And so that it's just like hard not to say that game. But
indeed, that's once again, look, nobody's gonna be mad at you for saying
right.
Look, that's a great game. Obviously, V was a legend. I think one of the biggest things people like want to know about or just get more insight on, and obviously you had a front row seat to this too. So now Coach V's leaving. You got Coach Khan and Wesley Goodwin taking over. What do you want to tell the people about like the new reign on the defense?
Man, I'm excited. I'm real excited to watch them and how they structure this defense and ultimately how they, perform next season. I've gotten up to spring ball a few times, gotten to see them, coach and play and practice and stuff. And being with them, throughout the whole bowl prep last year, he's, obviously him and Coach V, very different, different dudes, from Wes and Coach V, going to be different play callers, going to be different coaches on the field, different personalities, but those are, two of the best guys and two of the smartest guys at what they do. And there's a reason Coach V kept Wes so close all the time. They're
right.
Feeding off each other ideas and schemes and what's going to work for this and what's a good call for that. How do we stop this? And Wes is the man. He's a player's coach. All the guys are gonna love Wes, gonna speak highly of Wes. He's just who he is. And, the fact that he's become the D coordinator at Clemson isn't gonna change who he is, and that's what I think is really cool about him. And I mean, he's still going to be the same old Wes. I mean, it's just who he is. You know, funny humor, kind of quiet,
Right.
but you know, we'll get after you every once in a while. You know, you start to see a different side of him on the football field a little bit than you would up in the meeting room. So that's what I like to see come out of him. You know, in the bowl prep, seeing him get after some guys a little bit was fun. And so I'm, you know, super excited to watch them coach. And then Coach Khan, obviously.
Yeah, go, Coach. Yeah, if you want to say.
No, yeah, like I've been around Coach Khan, you know, for 6 years now. That's my guy. You know, came into Clemson when I came into Clemson. So, you know, we kind of went through that ride together.
For real, he did.
You know, of learning the defense, you know, getting adjusted to college football and everything. So we've, you know, had a lot of good moments with Coach Khan. I've really enjoyed his mentorship and, you know, his coaching ability. And, you know, he's really poured into me, him and his family. And so I've, you know, always been really appreciative of him. And now his sons are growing up. Brody's about to come to college, which blows my mind now.
I know.
It's weird.
Where did Tom go, bro?
It's weird. But yeah, just super excited for both of those guys.
All right, last question for Nolan Turner, bro. All right, Coach V came on the podcast last week, and we asked him this, and I'm curious from the player's perspective, who are top 3 or 4 guys, or 5, whatever you want to say, but top guys that gave you nightmares as a defensive player throughout your career?
Wow. Yeah, this is
no order.
No order. 5 guys. So just 5 of the best players we played against is a good way to put it.
Right.
So the first 3 that come to mind, well, I mean, you can, like, some of them are a group, you know. I might put them in groups. Number 1 was Jamar, Justin, and Joe. Them 3. As a unit. I'll use that as one. And then, like, you run it back to 2018, and they got, you know, Judy, Waddle, Devontae, and
Ruggs.
Like, that's the other group. I mean, it's just like, you know, you see speed and you see, like, talented guys, and then you, like, turn on this tape, and it's just like it's a little bit different. Guys stand out a little bit more, look a little bit faster, and it's, you know you're
right.
in for it. And then so those 2 are, you know, definitely the biggest that stand out. But man, some of those Ohio State teams that we played. Fields, Justin Fields, a heck of a quarterback, heck of a football player, and especially those receivers they had too with, you know, Garrett Wilson, Olave. Man, there's some ballers.
Bro, Nolan, Nolo, my boy. Thank you for coming on to the Players Club podcast, bro. It's been a pleasure. I know people enjoyed it.
Hey, man, I appreciate you for having me. Had a great time.
Man, big thank you to Nolan Turner for coming on to the podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed that. What an incredible story journey. Just a guy who developed and became a superstar in college, and now is kind of trying to do the same things in his hopes to get to the NFL. Overlooked, but once again proving himself that he belongs. And so hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, I enjoy every conversation I have because it's fun. Get to hear from my friends, and you guys get to hear a bunch of stuff hopefully that you didn't know, or insights and all that good stuff. But to what we really want to get to today is you guys got us to 3,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. I did make a joke that I have an Oklahoma hat, and the only reason I don't have one on is because you guys haven't bought me one yet. So if you're serious about buying me one, literally DM me or tweet at me on Twitter or Instagram, and I'll send you guys my address, and you guys can send me an Oklahoma hat, and I will wear it on one of these episodes coming. If not next week, the week after that. If I get one, because my Oklahoma fans, y'all are like loyal. My Clemson fans are obviously, y'all been with me, but the Oklahoma fan base, y'all are super loyal. So I appreciate it. And so now, you know, once you hit a goal, like you cherish it, because like y'all putting wind in my sails. Like, all right, I'm gonna keep doing these podcasts if y'all are liking them. But now we got our sights set on bigger things, guys. We're on the road to 4,000 now. You know, and I thought we could get there a lot quicker than we got to 3,000. So let's get there like this week. If you guys like the episodes, let's keep subscribing. Send it to your friends. Send it to anybody who likes football, who likes sports, who likes leadership. Because I feel like you get everything on this podcast. I feel like I'm giving you guys everything that comes with it. So episode 21. Thank you guys once again for all the love and support. It really does mean the most. So continue to support us. Continue to reach out. and we'll continue to engage with you guys. Subscribe, share, comment, follow, all that good stuff. But episode 21 has been a pleasure. I'm your host of the Players Club podcast, a podcast about the players for the people. And it's been a great one. Peace out. See you next week.